How's it going, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the book The Carrot Principle by Adrian Gostick and Chester Elton. So the carrot principle is best for those interested in effective leadership and most particularly recognition. It's also good for those who enjoy data and statistics. The difficulty to digest is relatively easy for the main concepts, but there are a lot of statistics, so having some familiarity with the scientific method and some other research and statistics methods is useful, but again, you don't need it to get out the core concepts. All right, on to the key insights. So the carrot principle is basically a book that is showing a bunch of different reasons why recognition is one of the key pillars you need to have an effective organization and be a good leader. And they have all these different examples and studies and things to show that this is the case. Now, they also mention that recognition alone isn't enough to make a company run, but it really fuels one of the main, drivers of success and people feeling good about coming to work. So basically they say that recognition feeds the other four pieces, which are goal setting, accountability, trust, and communication. So by having those things all connected with a core of recognition, you can get the most out of your workplace and have the most fulfilled and engaging employees. They go on to show basically all the different ways that recognition is related to these better metrics, right? Better employee engagement, higher margins, more creativity, greater satisfaction, all the things that you would want as you build out a business. And then they go in and they give you a bunch of different examples as to how you can provide recognition to employees and a bunch of ideas and ways that you can do that, as well as giving counter examples against arguments like, oh, well, I don't want to, just baby them and give them recognition all the time because then they won't feel like any work that's hard needs to be done. They can just do this easy work and get the same level of recognition. They bring up a bunch of arguments and studies and cases as to why that's not actually the case. So all in all, it's basically a book with one major theme that just says, if you want to have an effective workplace, you need to use recognition. It's a really deep dive on that idea. So it could be useful if you're in the position of trying to build a business or if you're a manager and want to get a little bit better. It's not going to give you this broad overview of everything you need to do to be an effective leader, but it will give you this one really powerful and useful tool and a bunch of different ways that you can integrate that without, crushing yourself or paying a bunch of money or whatever else. It's just these small ways to show recognition to your employees to kind of make everyone feel more connected and boost the morale of the workplace. Other considerations, there is quite a bit of data and statistics and things like that in here, so it can be a little bit cumbersome to parse through. You don't need to really dig into it to understand what the book is trying to tell you, but if it's the kind of thing that makes you confused or that gets you kind of flustered or frustrated, you may want to skip this one, but for the most part, again, it's pretty easy to digest. Just you may not get every little nuance and piece because they go deep on the statistic ends of things. Other considerations, basically there's a ton of different data and statistics and graphs and things like that in this book. If you're comfortable with that kind of stuff, it'll be, relatively easy to parse through. But if you're not, it's not going to take away anything from the book, but it can be cumbersome to kind of move through if you're not familiar with these kinds of things. So just be aware of that and don't let it, ruin your perception or your experience with the book. All right, that is all I have for this. Let's move on to reflection questions. 1. How often do you recognize others in your life? 2. Do you feel recognized in your workplace? 3. How can you show someone you recognize their efforts this week? So that's all I've got. Hopefully that gives you a couple ideas. The main thrust of this book, again, is just saying recognition is a really useful tool to keep people connected and engaged. I will have the affiliate link down below where you can pick up a copy of the book. And beyond that, if you have any questions, comments, topics you want me to cover, throw them down in the box below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And I will see you next time.
You can check out more content at howtohappy.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos. We've also got a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook that you can check out. Reflect, take action, and enjoy life. See you next time.